Me.
Hello.
Hello.
Wait, is your question on your phone?
Yes.
You brought that from home?
No, I wrote them now.
Oh, sorry.
Just so I couldn't forget them. Good evening. I am Luma, and these questions of mine might sound a little silly because they have to do with the beginning of your relationship with music.
Okay.
I would like to know when did you buy your first guitar, and did you have guitar lessons? Did you take guitar lessons, or did you learn it on your own? And at the beginning, do you remember how many hours a day you used to practice the guitar? And did you? I'm sorry, you don't have to answer all of them, but okay, just give an overall.
It's not silly.
Sorry,
That's all right.
I'm not finished yet. Sorry.
I know.
Did you have to give other responsibilities up for music, you know? And after how many years could you pay the bills only with music?
Okay, everybody else, just go get a coffee. I'm just going to talk to her for 30 minutes.
Sorry.
It's not silly at all. It's amazing. I mean, I was really young. I remember loving music when I was young. In fact, my dad played bouzouki, which is a Greek instrument. Like I said before, I'm Greek. And there was a charm to that music. Like, my dad would play, he knew like 500 songs. And my introduction to music really was him going to a party with his bouzouki. And it was like Elvis was in the building, and he would sing, and he'd sing a happy song, and people would laugh, and he would sing a sad political song from the 40s, and everybody would cry. So, I put the two and two together really young, like, this is happy, that's sad. You know what I mean? So, I mean, it's music. That's what the beautiful thing about music is. You remember, you make sure that you time travel. You hear something, and oh man, I remember the first time I heard that song. I'm not going to talk about it, but it's the beauty of music, and I learned that young. My dad bought me a guitar when I was 5, and I could barely hold it. But I had the desire to learn. I took a couple of lessons. I hated it because I wasn't learning what I wanted to learn. And then I started, when I was 8, I had an Elvis Presley set, 2 songs. It was Blue Suede Shoes and Teddy Bear, and we were at a big fat Greek wedding, and there was 400 people there, and my dad's like, hey, the band's taking a band, you want to sing? I'm like, what? He goes, yeah, get up and just play your Elvis songs. I'm like, what? Because I didn't know, you know, and my dad, he talked to the band, and he's like, hey guys, my son's gonna get up and play. And they're like, okay, sir. And I get up, and I did my Blue Suede Shoes and Teddy Bear, and everybody freaked out, because it was before YouTube. Now you go on YouTube, you could see 1 million 8-year-olds playing and singing Elvis songs. And back then, there was no YouTube, not everybody had a computer even. And so seeing this kid get up, and they were like, so they're all freaking out, and I'm like going, I want to do this. This is awesome. So fast forward, I was 11. I bought my first secondhand Fender Stratocaster. Me and my dad went halvesies, which means, you know, he said, whatever you raise, washing dishes at the restaurant, I'll match your money. So I came up with 175. He gave me 175. We went to this guy's apartment, and I opened the case, and I was like, and I took the Strat home, and it was, that's the history of it. I have very fond memories of learning everything, and you know, from the radio, and hearing this song at my friend's house. There's so many things, but I think I only answered one question. Can you skip to number 3?
For how many hours you
practice? Right. So And did it interfere with my personal life? Yes, okay, I got it. Okay, so as I was in high school interfered with my personal life. So it was just one of those things, like I didn't have any interest in a high school diploma. I mean, I tell people to stay in school because it's good to learn, and it's good for a career in anything. And when my brother, who was the other side of the brain, he had the first computer on the block, and now he designs microchips for huge companies. And so, but he went and finished school, and I don't want to do this. I want to get a new band with my band and play everywhere. And we did that, and I learned a lot. And I would practice. I think when I wasn't in school, I would practice maybe 8 hours a day. And I was awesome. I was better than it technically. I have more heart and soul now, but I was a better technical player then. I think we would play 3 45-minute sets, and then everybody would go party, and I'd go to my room and play guitar until like 6 in the morning, and then I would sleep for a few hours, and then I'd get up at noon, and then I'd play guitar until we went on. I was just constantly playing guitar, and it was a part of me. And I think that's important. If you want to make an instrument your life, you have to make it your life. Now, since I became a dad in 2013, I've become a worse guitar player because I never practice. I want to play with my kids because I go on the road. So I go on the road and I play guitar, and I suck now, and I don't suck, but I have to really warm up my fingers to come out here and do this because I don't play that much. And then when I go home, I just want to play with the kids. So it's always a give and take. But if you're serious about like I was serious about this, and I made it my life. If you're serious about it, there's no other way around it. You have to put the time in. And that's that. Anyone?
All right.
Is that all right? Is it good enough?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. And that wasn't silly at all. That was good. Whoa. Yes.
Hi, my name is Marcia. Thank you. I think that you are great, the best.
The best?
Yeah,
That's
my opinion is. And I know that we are talking about guitars, but I have a question about, it's a curious. How you make this sound with your mouth in the music Living on a Prayer, for example?
Okay, so it's called a talk box. So basically, in the old days, like Joe Walsh, Joe Perry, Peter Frampton, what happens is the amplifier, the head is connected to a speaker, and that's how you hear like what you're hearing now. Someone found a way, and I don't know who it was, but someone found a way to replace the speakers in a cabinet with a hose. So the hose goes into this box with a tube in it, and the tube makes it more powerful, and it sends it up. There's a tube which is a hose, and then there's the tube that's like a glass tube that actually emits some energy. So it sends that into the hose, and the hose comes up here, and instead of your amp coming out of a cabinet, it's coming out of a hose, which is smaller than a watering hose, like a garden hose. So what happens is that comes out of over here, and then you put your mouth on it, and your mouth becomes the shape of the sound. And this mic picks it up. So that's why they call it a talk box. And it was funny because I just saw Peter Frampton in New York a couple of weeks ago, and he actually talks, and you can hear what he's saying, and it's awesome. And I just go, whoa, whoa, and I'm done. But it's actually, I gotta find out who invented that, because it's pretty awesome.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I don't know how we're doing on time. Oh, wait, do we have a lot of questions? Because I just wanted to play some more. Is that cool?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because I talk about writing and stuff, and I was going through a writer explosion. Like, people have writer's block where they can't write. I was going through a writer's explosion. Like, I wrote 11 songs in 11 days, and they've been spread out over all the Drills records. And there's one song that I do all the time, because because I feel like it's a great song, and when we play it, it's kind of recorded punky, but when we play it punky, I feel like it goes over everybody's head if it's just too fast, so you don't hear the lyrics and you can't connect with it. And then when I slow it down, the desired effect, which is everybody connecting with the song, happens. So I want to do that for you guys now, if you don't mind. Do you mind? No. Nobody said anything. You're freaking me out. She had a beautiful face. She had a beautiful disposition on every piece of furniture in the place. She had a beautiful apartment with a beautiful view. She had a beautiful moon on her shoulder that reminded me of you. That reminded me of you. You play your games, I won't participate. I'm not a bracelet, you're just confiscate. You said that we were the one needed taking over you, telling me what you want and don't want, I swear. Now you're hanging around, asking what was wrong with now. I'll tell you if you really care. Beautiful apartment. She had a beautiful face. She had a beautiful disposition on every piece of furniture in the place. She had a beautiful apartment with a beautiful view. She had a beautiful sky around her forehead that reminded me of you. She said, come on over. I said, I barely know you. She said, bring your video camera. I said, hell yeah. Make it real, make it real, make it real, make it real. You're my gasket. Make it real, make it real, make it real, make it real. You're my gasket. Make it real, make it real, make it real, make it real. She had a beautiful apartment. She had a beautiful face. She had a beautiful disposition on every piece of furniture in the place. She had a beautiful apartment with a beautiful view. She had a beautiful moon on her shoulder that reminded me of you. 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 That's called Beautiful Apartment. From Kick Your Ass in 17 minutes. Okay, we'll do a couple more questions, and then we're going to play this thing. And then we'll wrap it up and do some photos if you want a photo. Anybody want a photo?
Yeah. Yes.
All right, we can do that. I don't know what's happening here. Okay, any questions? Yes. Oh, he's got a microphone or everything?
Yeah, I got a microphone. Oh, it's on. Okay, so...
You got a turntable?
No, I don't. Oh, sorry.
2 turntables? I'm just kidding. You know that
That's
song? 2 turntables and a microphone. No.
Well, first of all, congratulations on the concert yesterday. So
Oh, thank you. Were you there?
No, I don't. I wasn't. I did watch it though.
Oh, you watched it on TV?
I did.
All right.
Yeah. Well, my question is not the favorite guitar player's question, with the exception of Joe Satriani, maybe, which is what is your relationship with music theory, both when you were learning how to play and now, and also if you can tell us about practicing drills you like or stuff you do to warm up and keep in shape.
I think the theory thing is, I think it's good to know the notes. I mean, I think it's good to know the name of the notes, especially when you start playing with people and somebody goes, hey, we're playing the song in G. Then you could say that, oh, dude, I play it in F sharp. And then you can find that everybody can land on the G or land on the F sharp. It's good to know, you know, the notes, the names, the sharps, the flats. Reading is another thing. The theory, I understand, like I could write something out because I challenged myself one time and figured out the syncopation of dotted quarter notes or dotted eighth notes or whatever it was, but I couldn't read it the next day. It's kind of like you write a letter and then you proofread it the next day and you know, oh, I'm just going to change this to that and that to it. And no, I just wrote it one day and then couldn't read it the next, and I thought, I don't have the time to put into that. For me, I don't like, it's funny because a lot of people practice, they warm up a lot to go on stage, and if I get too warm, I think I suck. So I have like a cutoff point, like I'll give it a good 30 minutes just to get the blood flowing and make sure. The funny thing is, the easiest things are the hardest things when you get on the stage. I almost slipped last night. I was on stage and my foot almost took off. And I'm like, well, you're gonna hit a bad note. We were doing bad name and I hit the wrong chord. But that's gonna happen. When I'm warming up with the drills, I have to play the 5 or 6 solos that are really, really hard and nail them before I go on stage. When I play with Bon Jovi, I nail the simple solos in the dressing room. Like this will be kind of like what it's like, but it's not a big amp like this. It's a big amp, a little amp. It's like I'll be in there like. I kind of do that. I just run all the solos. Just if I'm going to screw up, I want it to be in the tuning room as opposed to on stage in front of people. But that's what happens. It's like when I first started doing the gig, and I swear, I ain't lying. I'd be like, don't fuck up. Don't fuck up. Come on. If you fuck up, you're fucked. And that's because you could be a brilliant star on the horizon all night, but if you fuck that up, you're fucked. So, yeah, I mean, and that's true. I'm not making that up. That is honest. That's honesty right there. And like I said, when I do warm up with the drills, I have to warm up the licks, the hard licks, like Wish My Beer Was As Cold As Your Heart, and Sunny Days, and it's funny because all you have in your head is that you just want to put on a great show, and sometimes the only thing that's going to stop you from having a great show is you. You can't blame anybody else. So I walk on stage, and it's funny because when I walk on the stage with Bon Jovi, it's amazing because I've learned about this. It's a family. It's a family. It's a gang. It's a brotherhood, and we're a team. So let's go out there and do it, right? When I walk on stage with the drills, because I'm the front guy, I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna kill you. And I'm gonna kill the band after us, and I just kill the band before us. Because I think you have to have that mentality. I think you have to walk on stage and just, you want people to leave and remember something. You want them to remember a performance. And so I do everything in my power to make that happen. And I mean, it's putting a lot of pressure on yourself. But when I walk off stage, I'm like, and I'm a dick too. I get cocky. Somebody walk up and go, "Hey man, you're pretty good." I'm going, "Fuck you, what show were you at? That was awesome." I kick ass because I feel like that. And nothing can stop you. You feel like you could stop a bullet. It's amazing. So it's, you have to be, you're the best person to have in your corner when you go on stage, for sure. Exercise-wise, I don't practice scales. I practice songs that are hard. And that, to me, helps me become a better player. But like I said, I'd rather take my kids in the pool than play guitar right now. Anybody else?